and welcome. You're watching Republic. Thank you for staying with us. My colleague Samiksha also joins you on the broadcast. Samiksha, as we keep on getting these stories of heroes, of unsung heroes who have done a great thing for the nation, would you like to introduce our next guest?
Well, absolutely, Stanisha. Let's get started with a special guest joining us on the broadcast. And as we continue to get you the guests from across the country highlighting their journey that has been so far, and as we celebrate the 76th Republic Day, let's also tell our viewers about the stories of heroism and creativity unmatched. Let's welcome our next guest for the day, who is a renowned violinist, L. Subramaniam, with a mastery that transcends time and technique. L. Subramaniam stands as a living legend in the world of classical music.
Absolutely, Samiksha. Now, every note played by him resonates with a profound emotional connection, solidifying his legacy as one of the finest violinists of all times. On the occasion of this Republic Day, L. Subramaniam has been conferred Padma Vibhushan, the second highest civilian award of Republic India. He's already live with us. L. Subramaniam, thank you very much for speaking with Republic. It's an honor to have you here today. First and foremost, how is the feeling?
First of all, thank you for a wonderful introduction you both gave about me. It's a great feeling because I think for anybody who has been in any field, when you get the recognition from the government, which is one of the highest honors, so not only myself, my family, I feel that the whole award is for every instrumentalist, violinist, because the violin has been my father's dream. He taught me to become a violinist. His idea was to make the violin internationally known, Indian violin particularly, because before that, Indian violin was considered almost like a folk or ethnic instrument or accompanying instrument. So he transformed into solo instrument, and seeing the result and getting rewarded in your own country. Outside India, we've got different things, but getting something in your own country is always very, very satisfying. And my family, and I share this with all the violinists, all the instrumentalists who play Indian music.
And yes, sir, on behalf of Republic and from the entire nation, congratulations to you. You've just been conferred with Padma Vibhushan. Your first thoughts on being conferred Padma Vibhushan?
First thought was, I was not very sure it was real, because my daughter from Dubai called me because I was not checking anything. I was traveling. So I told her, please, can you make sure it is really, or somebody telling something to you and you are telling me. She said, no, I went to the home ministries thing. It is sure. Then I was very happy. I said, it's wonderful. They were jumping in joy, my daughter and sons. And of course, later on, I told my wife, Kavita, who was right now she's in UK doing her own concert series. So she was also extremely happy. So the first thought was, my father was there, he would have been really jumping in joy, because his dream was to get this recognition of Indian violin. Now getting an award through Indian violin, that too Padma Vibhushan, for the first time for a violinist, it has been given in India, I was told. We were very, very happy.
L. Subramaniam, I request you to continue staying with us. Before we come to you, I would like to share one of that composition by you. Let's take a listen into that. Rightly called the violin maestro of the country. Sir, if you can talk to us more about how has the journey been in the world of Carnatic music, so as to say, and that message that you would also want to give to several of those violinists who want to follow the same path as you.
I think violin, even though we believe that it was brought after Britishers' time, we had stringed instrument, which is a board instrument. So I think anybody wants to become a musician or a violinist, there's always opportunities. Only thing, they have to be totally dedicated and passionate and work very hard. There's no shortcut to achieve anything. There are a lot of modern facilities which has come. So sometimes people tend to take shorter cuts. Without practicing, you can play something and pitch correct it through a, pitch correction instrument and everything. But if you really want to be honest to yourself and honest to everybody, working hard will ultimately get you where you want to go.
Right, Mr. Subramaniam, before you come to you again, let's listen into one of those mesmerizing composition by you that has enthralled the world. Listen in. Subramaniam, you have been conferred with Padma Vibhushan. What was that first feeling that you got when you first heard about that news? Because it's a great honor for a musician, for a violinist to get that honor. And when you heard about the news that your name has been in the list, what was that feeling that you got?
First of all, I want to recheck if there was a printing mistake or anything. Because I heard it through my daughter, honestly, because I was traveling at the time, as I mentioned. But then, of course, whenever you hear that you're getting one of the highest award from Indian government in India, which is your own country, my soul is Indian. Even though I travel most of the time, every time I come back, I'm so happy. So getting all the other international awards is different than getting in your own country, the award like Padma Vibhushan. And also, our own people, when they hear you have got Padma Vibhushan, their impression about you also changes, unfortunately or fortunately. So people think you are great and all those things. So that makes a big difference. And incidentally, the video which you played earlier with Lord Awardee Menuhin is one of the greatest classical Western violinists in the history. Unfortunately, he's no more. That performance was done for the 87th. In the 1987, for the celebrating 40th year of India's independence in the United Nations, playing, both of us were playing one of my compositions.
Yes, sir, requesting you to stay with us. We will come back to you in just some time. Let's take a look at one of the highlights from your work. And we have violin maestro with us, L. Subramaniam. Sir, you'd earlier mentioned in your one of your interviews that I heard that when you received your first Padma Award, Russia was still in USSR. If you can talk to us more about how have the times changed in the world of Carnatic music since the time you first received your Padma Award.
The very first time I got Padma Shri was after I performed in USSR when our then President, His Excellency Mr. R. Venkatraman, was meeting the USSR President. At the time, I was invited to perform an Indian classical in Bolshoi Theatre and an orchestral piece which I wrote, the Fantasy on Vedic Chants, which was written basically for New York Philharmonic for Maestro Mehta, which they wanted me to play there in USSR. We played that. After that, next thing I knew was that, I've been selected for Padma Shri Award and whether I can come and receive the award. But at that time, I was not here. So I used to stay in US those days, so I was not here. But later on, our president was very, very kind. He invited me for a tea and gave me the papers. This is your award, take it. And subsequently, a lot of things have changed because now, before, there's a methodology of how they select and how they do things. It's a lot of process, a lot of things are happening. And a lot of people have to come to, agreement. And also, I feel for the arts, it is very, very difficult to get as compared to other fields. And especially playing Carnatic music, South Indian violin, it is not that easy to get. And I'm very, very happy when people told me that I was the first violinist to get Padma Vibhushan for Indian violin in India. So a lot of things have changed. But Padma Vibhushan I got with Mr. K.R. Narayanan. During that time, I was awarded Padma. It was, I think, early 2004 or something like that, almost 20 years back or something like that. So I almost forgotten all those things. And all of a sudden, when this thing happened yesterday, I was very, very happy. It reminded of the previous thing where it was a little simpler and it was you knew earlier and everything.
Right. L. Subramaniam, with that, I want to thank you for speaking to Republic. It's been an honor to have you here today. Thank you very much.